Good evening, everyone. My name's Chris Cooper, known as a Channel Guy Trader, and I'm reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading's Miami office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Thursday, November the 14th, 2013, and here's today's After the Bell Market Summary video brought to you by WallStreetTrading.com. Just a quick reminder, if you have not been to the website yet or checked out our intraday live trading room, My Wall Street TV, go to the website WallStreetTrading.com, fill out the form on the right-hand side for the 14-day free trial of the trading room. Check out some of the action that we have in there, and we actually made some decent call outs today, which we'll take a look at here shortly. But starting off with the markets, we had the Dow Jones up 54.5 points. We had the Nasdaq up 7 points. S&P 500 up over 8.5 points. As far as the breadth goes, we had 3,792 issues advancing on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. We have 2,472 issues declining on the NYSE, Nasdaq, and the Amex. Therefore, breadth was in favor of the bulls, but not really by a big spread. Pretty much mixed market there. Aside from that, let's go ahead and talk about some stocks today, and let's go ahead and take a look at the markets. First off, we did see some weakness in the tech sector. We'll take a look at some of those key stocks: Oracle, Cisco, HPQ. We had some weakness in some of the data storage stocks like EMC. Some semiconductor stocks were weak. BRCM down 2%, Altera down over 2%. So there's definitely some names we'll be taking a good look at here shortly. The banks did pretty decent today. Some of the material stocks were weak, but let's go ahead and jump into the chart, starting off with the S&P 500, the daily chart of the SPY, which is the S&P 500 ETF here, up 89 cents, up 0.5%, closing at 179.27. We talked about the choppy price action around this key trend line that we have for these little pivot highs. Okay, and then we had a nice little choppy action as expected around that trend line, which then we formed this nice little tight range. We gapped down yesterday on that to that 20-day moving average, which got bought up, and now you can see this is like a little A, B, C move that's gonna most likely take place here. So keep an eye on the 177.5 area or level. That's the area that you want to watch in the S&P. That's what you want to watch on the S&P. And again, I think the next level we have to look out for is going to be the hold number 180. All right, which again is 73 cents away from hitting that. So there's still some more upside in the markets before we get to that next key level. Since there's no resistance above us, we don't know where the resistance is at until we get of course, some type of intraday form showing us resistance. One thing that you can do, all right, you could take this little ABC move here. All right, use some Fibonacci retracements. Sorry, not Fibonacci retracements, but Fibonacci extensions. And how would you go about doing that? You would take, see, Fibonacci extensions. You'll take the low from last Friday to the high that we made on Monday to the pullback gap down that we made yesterday. And now you get some levels here. So we do have a full 100% ABC measured move that got hit from this little action right here. Okay. This action is the same measurement from right here. That gives you the 100%. So the next targets that most people will be looking to get hit will be the 138.2 around 180. That's why I think we hit the 180. Then you want to watch the 150 and the 161.8. Take a look at it on the 15-minute chart. Take off the highlighted session here, or I should say the extended session. And again, you can see the levels up there. All right, those levels we watch tomorrow. So keep that on your radar. Those levels, again, those are some levels that most people will be working off of since there is no resistance above us. All right, let's take a look at the ES action on the ES. Again, we did mention also on the ES how we were trading above that key upper trend line right there from those little pivot highs that we made. Right, it was resistance. We chopped around it, draw a little parallel trend line right there. Then you can kind of see the same setup on the SPY, except on the ES it formed at an angle. This is your little consolidation box. This is your little pullback, and this is your breakout. So the ES again as well, of course, looking good. And the next, everybody's talking the 1800 on the S&P, and I think that's where we'll probably hit tomorrow or maybe sometime early next week. Then we'll see what happens from there. One interesting thing that I see on the chart, if you bring up the weekly chart here, all right, monthly chart, nice trend. On the weekly chart, nice little channel that we've been watching. All right, let me take off the studies here real quick. And then you have your upper channel. So this is your channel. And you have your little upward channel. That upward channel target takes us to, let's see here. The upward channel target takes us up towards the 1820 area. So that will be the next level. If we start holding above 1800, That'll be the next level you want to focus on. Again, do your own due diligence. Draw your own little trend lines in your chart. Sometimes people draw trend lines a little bit different from each other, so make sure you do your own homework as well. Those are some upper levels that we're going to be looking at going forward. So let's go and take a look at the triple Qs. The Nasdaq 100 ETF up 26 cents, up 0.31%. Again, even the Nasdaq is here making new 52-week highs, or better yet, making new making new highs. It's back at the levels it was trading around before it broke down back here in 2000. And if you take the Fibonacci from the tech bubble high to the tech bubble sell-off low, which happened in 2002, October 2002, we're back at that 61.8% retracement level, which is a level we've been mentioning to you guys for quite a while now to watch those Fibonacci's. And let me just go ahead and bring this over so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Right, you take this little high from the tech bubble sell-off on the monthly to the 2000 low. Right, ever since we started breaking above that 50% retracement, you guys can go back and watch the videos. We mentioned that the next target could be the 61.8%, and the next target or the next sector and index you would want to watch is the Nasdaq. Since the Nasdaq was lagging and all the other indices were leading, we would expect the Nasdaq to play catch up, and so far it's been doing exactly what we expected, and it has been playing catch up. And now the next level you want to watch is really up here around the 90 area. So the tech stocks are definitely giving this market a boost, and there's a lot of good things going on in the tech sector, so you want to keep an eye on that. As far as the levels on the Qs, you want to watch the 83.50 level. Next level to watch again will be the 84 half. IWM showed a little bit of relative weakness today to the other sectors. We did have new highs put in the market on the Nasdaq, on the S&P 500, and on the Dow. The IWM is making its way back up towards the highs from earlier back in October. If the market continues to move higher, we should see the IWM making new highs for this year again and trading back above 111.50 or so. All right, so what are some key stocks? Actually, let's go ahead and take a look at gold real quick and some commodities here. We did have some action in gold. Gold traded pretty decent today with Yellen on the TV as they were questioning her on different policies and stuff. I've not had a chance to look over some of her comments, but I'll maybe take a look at that tonight. But either way, what she was saying did not cause gold to sell off, so we are still watching this gold 1260 level. As long as gold can hold its bid around 1260, we do think it has a chance of maybe trading back up towards this trend line around the 1320 area. We do have a down move here, so if it does start to trade sideways and can catch a bid above 1300, this could be a potential little bearish action for it. We need more chart action to tell us. This morning in our MyWallStreetTV.com live chat room, we talked about looking at the gold miners. So a lot of the traders in the room were trading those, and they did pretty well on those names. Newmont Mining traded pretty decent today. GDX was up over 2.5%. All right, so gold held a nice little bit overnight, and he had some fall through action during the opening session, which is pretty good. That's exactly what you want to have happen if you see something trading strong overnight and you want to jump on board. You want to see it continue and not chop you up really and trade smoothly. Let's take a look at the GLD chart. That's a GDX. The GDX go back up towards 25. Let's take a look at the actual GLD, which was up 1% again. Again, this thing is just gaps all over the place, so I like to watch the futures. I'm pretty sure a lot of other traders out there like to watch the futures as well. But this GLD, you can see how it gaps a lot, so you get a better read watching the gold futures. Silver, let's take a look at the SLV for that one. Actually, no, let's take a look at the SI silver futures for that one. Silver futures have some analysis on this chart. It does have a little downward channel that's trying to break, as you can see from this little pivot high right here, this pivot high. All right, acted as resistance right here at this pivot high. We started trading this little downward channel, and now we're watching this key 2050 level on silver. Silver breaks below 2050. Look for that to pull in. There is some bullish action going on in PAAS for earnings, and then CDE. Let's see real quick. One last thing. Let's take a look at crude oil, and we take a look at some stocks here. Crude oil continues to get smashed to the downside. I do think it should find some support down around this area, around 92. It is in a strong downtrend from the little fake breakout it had above the 109 level back in early September. And again, the next key level of support really doesn't come in until I would say around again 90, 92, or you have this 91 area, 90 area. So what are some names that were that we looked at today that a lot of traders were watching. It was on the news a lot. Cisco, all right, so you can see Cisco was down over 10% today. Actually gapped down more, recovered off of its lows. Um, they missed the top line, the bottom line, and they guided lower. And the stock got bought up, so that kind of saved it. It was also gapping down into a little support area. All this little demand that you have down here before it rallied up, they bought it right back in that zone. So not that much of a surprise. If you had some levels on that, you could have worked off the 21 level. Some other technology stocks that we have to take a look at today because they were down a lot. HPQ down over 5%, gap down there. Not sure if this was from a downgrade or upgrade, but it did hold the 20-day moving average around 24.93. Keep an eye on that as it could possibly be a little dip buy opportunity. The stock has been in a strong uptrend since early October. And then you have Oracle, which was down over 1.5%. And this name right here, gap down, got bought up. One strong stock in the technology sector that came out. You had NTAP report, and NTAP's a data storage stock, but we've been keeping an eye on this WDC, Western Digital. They also do data storage, and this stock was called out for a breakout over 73 today in our chat room. And you can see how this one traded pretty well, traded to a high of 76. It's up a lot. I would not chase it up here. If you're an intraday trader, we should be able to catch some extra momentum on it for a little pop follow through, as a lot of traders that look at the charts overnight will probably be looking at this one for another continuation move. Just take a look at the hourly chart and trade off the key levels. Key level that you can watch if it does fade down tomorrow would be back around, say, 74, or better yet, like around 74, 75. You really don't want to see it trade back down to 74. But again, there's a decent level right here at 74 half, decent level right here at 75. Those will be some key levels to watch tomorrow for a buy the dip opportunity. Let's see. Let's take a look at some more key names. Apple. Oops, wrong symbol there. Let's see here. Apple up 1.5% today, trying to get back above this 526.75 level. You can see it closed at 528.16. As long as we can hold above 526.71, this thing may Apple could trade back up towards these 540s, the high from the earnings announcement date there, or the day after earnings there. What else? So keep an eye on that level 526. If it breaks and holds below 526, keep an eye on the bottom of the range down there around 512. Amazon, decent action today, was up 3%. Again, another name that we've been watching. Gapped up from earnings, traded sideways, got knocked down with the market weakness, held the rising 20-day moving average, and back up she goes. And she made new all-time highs today by a couple pennies. What else? Google. I did not get to do a video yesterday, but if you guys recall, on Wednesday we talked about Google being a strong stock from earnings, and most likely will be a good name to buy a pullback in. I did not get to do a video after the market closed yesterday to follow up with this one here, but you can see it had a nice little move yesterday, had some follow through action today. Most likely, if the markets are strong tomorrow, this one's going to trigger over the 1041 half level. Keep an eye on Google. And what else? What are some other key stocks in the sector here? Qualcomm, decent action. Another name, semiconductor strong. Nice breakout over 70. It's been trading in a choppy range between 70 and 66 since early September. Finally getting a breakout with some volume coming in there. Not much, but keep an eye on this one here. Let's see. What else? What are some more names? SCTY had some news out. They got upgraded this morning. It's another solar company that I know a lot of momentum traders are watching. Gapped up, pulled back in, bought off the lows. Keep an eye on this one here. Still trading in a wide, sloppy range between 50 and 64, so like a $14 range there. There are some other better solar names you can watch, like FSLR. That one's decent. You have CSIQ, which actually reported for good quarter numbers, and they're actually back profitable again, they said. So keep an eye on that. And then you have some other names, SPWR, which I've not been looking at, which is up. This one looks ready to go again here. This one was up 5% today. It looks like a nice breakout over 35. Nice little uptrend, short-term uptrend coming in play here. The financials, all right, JP Morgan up 0.5%. Looks pretty good. Still holding up pretty nice, nice and steady there. Next target will be up here towards the 55 whole number. Let's see, Bank of America, nice follow through, up 1% today after they made some nice gains yesterday. Targets back up towards the highs of the year. What else? Wells Fargo up a little bit, and MetLife Insurance Company up a lot today, up 2.5%. Looks like it wants to go back up here and recheck these highs from last earnings around. Let's see what's at August the 1st. What else? Some action in the home builders. DHI. Lennar. DR Horton up over 2.5% today. Keep an eye on this one on the breakout over 20. Take a look at Lennar. This one had a nice day up as well, up 2.5%. Then you can take a look at KBH, of course. This one was up close to 3%. Aside from that, folks, there's a lot of stocks moving. Just make sure you don't top tick any stocks. Try to find some decent levels to work off of your day, and just keep on trading with the market direction here. And when they shows us that there's a top, we'll play the top action. Then until then, we're looking to buy strong names on dips. Have a great day, folks. Catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Make sure you make your way to the chat room, and that's about it, folks. Have a great day.